The Virgo man is an enigma, wrapped in a riddle, shrouded in mystery. He is often perceived as quiet and reserved, a man of few words. But beneath the surface lies a complex and intricate mind, a world of thoughts and observations constantly churning. Getting to know a Virgo man is like peeling back the layers of an onion, each layer revealing a new facet of his personality. He is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect. This gives him a sharp mind and a keen eye for detail. He's a natural analyst, always observing and dissecting the world around him. He's practical and reliable, always there to lend a helping hand. He's a loyal friend and a devoted partner, but he can also be quite private and guarded. The Virgo man's analytical mind is his greatest strength and his greatest weakness. He has an innate ability to see the world clearly, to dissect complex situations and identify the root of a problem. He is a natural problem solver, always looking for ways to improve things. This makes him a valuable asset in any field, whether it's business, science, or the arts. However, this analytical nature can also lead to overthinking and a tendency to get bogged down in details. He can spend hours analyzing a situation, weighing the pros and cons, and trying to predict every possible outcome. He needs to learn to trust his intuition and not overthink everything. His critical eye can also be a source of frustration for those around him. He needs to learn to temper his criticism with kindness and understanding. The Virgo man's pursuit of perfection can be a heavy burden to bear. He sets high standards for himself, and he is constantly striving to meet those standards. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt, even when he achieves great success. He is never satisfied with his accomplishments, always pushing himself to do better. This relentless pursuit of perfection can also take a toll on his relationships. He can be critical of his partners, expecting them to live up to his high standards. He needs to learn to accept his partners for who they are, flaws and all. He needs to realize that true love is about accepting imperfections, not striving for an unattainable ideal. He needs to learn to love himself, flaws and all, before he can truly love another. The Virgo man is a private and guarded individual, often keeping his innermost thoughts to himself. He doesn't readily share his thoughts and feelings, preferring to keep them close to his chest, locked away in the pages of his journal. This can make him seem distant or aloof, but it's simply his way of protecting himself from potential hurt. He has been hurt in the past, and he is wary of opening himself up to others, fearing that history might repeat itself. He builds walls around himself, creating a safe space where he can retreat from the world and find solace in solitude. This can make it difficult for others to get close to him, but it also makes him a loyal and trustworthy friend once those walls are breached. He is fiercely protective of those he cares about, and he will always be there for them in times of need, offering unwavering support. He doesn't like to take risks, and he prefers to think things through carefully before making a decision, analyzing every possible outcome. He needs to learn to trust his intuition and not be afraid to take risks, understanding that sometimes the greatest rewards come from the boldest actions. The Virgo man's meticulous nature is both a blessing and a curse. His attention to detail is unparalleled, and he takes pride in his ability to create order out of chaos. He has an eye for detail that is second to none, and he is able to see things that others miss. This ability allows him to catch mistakes and improve processes that others might overlook. This makes him a valuable asset in any field that requires precision and accuracy. Whether it's in a laboratory, an office, or a workshop, his skills are indispensable. He is a perfectionist in everything he does, and he always strives for excellence. His dedication to his work is evident in every task he undertakes. However, this attention to detail can also lead to obsession and a tendency to get lost in the minutiae. He often finds himself buried under a mountain of small tasks. He can spend hours obsessing over minor details, losing sight of the bigger picture. This can cause delays and unnecessary stress. He needs to learn to prioritize and focus on the most important tasks. By doing so, he can ensure that his efforts are directed towards what truly matters. He needs to realize that not everything has to be perfect, and that it's okay to let go of some control. Embracing imperfection can lead to a more balanced and fulfilling life. He needs to learn to delegate tasks and trust others to do their jobs. By doing so, he can free up time for himself and reduce his own stress levels. While generally kind and gentle, the Virgo man is capable of a sharp tongue when provoked. His critical nature, usually directed inward, can sometimes lash out at others. This Virgo sting can be surprising, given his typically reserved demeanor. It's often a result of pent-up frustration or perceived slight. He doesn't intend to hurt others, but his words can cut deep. He is precise in his criticisms, pointing out flaws and weaknesses with unnerving accuracy. He needs to learn to express his frustrations in a more constructive way. He needs to realize that his words have power and that he should use them wisely. He needs to learn to communicate his needs and expectations clearly without resorting to criticism or negativity. The Virgo man in love is a devoted and loyal partner. He expresses his affection through acts of service rather than grand gestures. He will take care of his loved ones, ensuring their needs are met and their lives run smoothly. He is practical and reliable, always there to lend a helping hand. He is a thoughtful and considerate lover, always striving to please his partner. He pays attention to the small details, noticing what makes his partner happy. He is a good listener and a supportive friend, always there to offer advice and encouragement. He values honesty and integrity in a relationship. He can be shy and reserved in expressing his emotions, but his actions speak louder than words. Understanding a Virgo man can feel like navigating a complex maze. His reserved nature and analytical mind can make him seem difficult to read. He doesn't readily reveal his emotions, and he can be guarded with his thoughts and feelings. Patience and understanding are key to unlocking his heart. Communication is crucial in a relationship with a Virgo man. He needs to feel safe and secure in expressing himself, and he needs a partner who can listen without judgment. He appreciates honesty and directness, and he values clear communication. He needs a partner who can understand his need for space and solitude. He thrives on routine and order, and he appreciates a partner who can create a stable and predictable environment. The dark side of the Virgo man is not something to be feared, but rather something to be understood and embraced. It is a part of his essence, a facet that adds to his depth and character. His critical nature, his perfectionism, his secrecy, and his meticulousness are all part of what makes him unique. These traits, while sometimes daunting, are the very elements that define his personality. These traits can be challenging, but they also contribute to his strengths. They are the building blocks of his resilience and his ability to overcome obstacles. By understanding his shadows, we can learn to appreciate the complexities of his personality. We can see the layers that make him who he is. We can learn to navigate his maze and unlock the treasures within. Each twist and turn reveals more about his inner world. We can learn to love him for who he is, flaws and all. Acceptance of his imperfections allows for a deeper connection. Embracing his shadows allows us to see the full picture, the light and the dark, the yin and the yang. It is this balance that creates harmony. His dark side is not a separate entity, but rather an integral part of his being. It is intertwined with his light, creating a complete and multifaceted individual. It is the shadow that gives depth and dimension to his light. Without it, his brilliance would not be as striking or profound.